Okay, people. So we are turning back the wheels of time slightly because I just had the opportunity of seeing finally Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. So this was co-directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears. It was written by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, Dan Hernandez, Benji Samit, and Jeff Rowe. Right, from a story by Rowe, Goldberg, Rogan, and Brendan O'Brien. Okay, so the film, it is produced by James Weaver, Seth Rogen, and Pages Evan Goldberg. Executive produced by Josh Fagan, Bryce Granier, Ramsey McBean, co-produced by Lucas Williams, Marie Balland, and associate produced by Grant Blaylock. Trent Reza and Atticus Ross handled the music. Kent Secchi was on cinematography. Greg Levitan edits the piece, while Rich Delia took care of the casting. Yashar Kazia was production design. Art direction is Arthur Fong. And our voice cast. Well, Donatello is voiced by Micah Abbey. Michelangelo is Shamon Brown Jr. Leonardo is Nicolas Cantu. Raphael is Brady Noon. Master Splinter is Jackie Chan. Right, April O'Neil is Ao Edebiri. We've then got Cynthia Ultron, voiced by Maya Randolph. Right, we have got Baxter Stockman, voiced by Giancarlo Esposito. Superfly, Ice Cube. Right, we've got Wingnut, right, by Natasia Demetrio. Leatherhead, Rose Bryan. Bebop, Seth Rogen. Rocksteady, John Cena. Mondo Gecko, Paul Rudd. Ray Phillip is Post Malone. Okay, Austin Post. Genghis Frog is Hannibal Buress. Spider is Derek Wilson. Right, we've got Bad Bernie, Michael Badalucco. Bald Bronson, Dempsey Papillon. Our TV anchor we often see is Andia Winslow. The news anchor, Raquel Wong. 2P Tom is Danny Mastragorigio. I mean, that's they're all the main people I would probably say, because there's a whole, string of people doing their thing. Right, the gist of the story is this. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the turtles set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers through heroic acts. But they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. So yeah, that is the story. Now, I know the Turtles from the original cartoon way back in the day, right? Way back. That's how I came across the Ninja Turtles, right? And back then the crazy thing was they kind of spun out of Daredevil, right? Because in Daredevil, a lorry hits him containing, toxic ooze, goes in his eyes, blinds him, but he gets powers. Now, then it was said that ooze went down the drain, went on Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Even though it wasn't a Marvel comic, which is one of those crazy little things, but it was always it's kind of fun, right? Kind of fun. Now that's been retconned over the years and changed, but it is what it is. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's that original cartoon that I remember. Now they did the films, right? Which were dreadful. Those original couple of films are terrible. I think there was a third film done, which not good. I never read the comics. Never read the comic. I didn't really have that interest, But yeah, I checked them out, right? I have some understanding of the Turtles. But I don't know, with this one, there's all new things they're throwing in. So I don't know if some of this came from I don't know, like the comics or if it's new, right? I'm not sure. Right? Did the Turtles go to school? Like, what's the deal? I don't know. I'm not sure, people. As I said, but it felt like this was made for a young audience, a very young audience, right? That's what this felt like. Which, I mean, I guess it's not too surprising because I know they wanted to then do a new animated series on Nickelodeon and all of that. So yeah, I can see why it might be skewed in that way. Because I found it a little infantile. Right? I don't think the humor was necessarily, it wasn't for me. Right? Now, with Rogan, like you kind of know what to expect when Rogan's involved, right? And Goldberg. Their stuff is, it's not all the same per se, but there is that kind of typical, the comedic element is kind of typical. And this, it is along the lines of their comedy, but not as out there as it can be at times. Sometimes it really works. Sometimes I really enjoy it. This time, not so much. Right? The whole milking thing, right? And then you've got a machine that says a milker, which is just like, what are we talking about? Right? The fact that wouldn't they have blood? Right? That's the thing that was really weird. And I'm just like, wait, wouldn't they have blood like that? Huh? Right. The size of the turtles was very confusing. I might just be dumb, right? But there's times I'm watching and it looks like they could be really tiny, right? There's a bit in this sneaking along the subway, right? And they're crouching down so no one can see them, and they're not above the platform. So if they're doing that, you're assuming they have to be small. But then you've got them standing by April and they're the same height. So I was very confused. I'm like, how tall are these things meant to be? Again, with Splinter. Splinter, you think, okay, he's short. But then he's the same size as a human. It's all very weird. I just, yeah. But sometimes you see them and they you know, it kind of makes it like they'd be shorter. So you've got all of this. we have them learning, to fight from videos, which, I mean, without sparring, you're not gonna be a great fighter, really. And what was really, because they've got swords, right? They've got swords, they got size. I think it's called size, right? Those ah, stabby kind of pitchfork little things. Um, so they're fighting with edge weapons. No one's getting stabbed or anything though. And I'm just like, yo, if you've got those sort of people are dying, right? There's no way you can have a fight and people not die. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what a go on with this, man. But yeah, no, but watching it, although, yeah, it's not for me. I can definitely see how a younger audience will enjoy it. You know, they did throw in some good songs, right? But we got Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor, so I mean, that makes sense. I do like some Della, some Tribe, all of that. I was down for. You know what I mean? There was some weird house mix of something that turned up in a chase scene, which I'm just like, "Ugh, don't like that." But yeah, with all the music and everything, I can see a young audience gravitating to this, and they did, right? The film was a big success. It's getting a sequel, so yeah, you can see it working. They found their audience. They knew what the audience wanted. Oh, I wasn't quite sure about the animation, right? It's not the animation is bad, you know, it's just the style of it. I don't know. It didn't, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And other times I'm like, I'm not sure. Not sure. But it's always interesting to see different styles, right? Different styles. I did think that it was one of those weird ones where people changed their mind, right? At the Like, without too much prodding, right? A certain thing gets said, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm with you now." And you're just like, "Wait, what?" It's that. Were we saying it's that simple? It was that simple. Like, I don't know, which kind of fucks things a little bit if you think about it, because I don't know what you do with a certain couple of characters, because throughout the TV, original animated cartoon, they were something different, right? So yeah, that was weird. Some of the voices, I think some of the voice cast I thought was great. And again, not that they did a bad job, but I don't know if if for me the voices worked, if the voices matched the perception of that character, So yeah, I don't know. This one, it was a bit. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't like the end, and we get a mid-credit scene, which I thought was kind of pointless. So yeah, this wasn't for me, right? But for pretty clear reasons. But as I said, you can see why a younger audience will dig it, and did dig it. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is out and about on all VODs. So if you haven't seen it, if you're late to the party like me, you know, I hope that helps you make up a decision if you want to go watch it or not. All right. Peace.